Do you guys have dreams? Well, I think we all have dreams. We all dream about the man that we want, the woman that we want, the life that we want. How do you create the life that you want? How long should it take? What is it that you're looking for in something? Well, I'm going to talk about that in this video today. Why should you be listening to me? I am Sherron Parmeshwar, the Modern Savvy CPA, and also the host of the Get Wealthy With Me podcast. My specialty is financial freedom, financial literacy, and intentional money management. So I want to talk to you guys about my life and how I'm creating the life I want. There are two things that you always have to remember in whatever it is that you want to do: discipline and consistency. You have to have discipline to understand that you get what you want instantly now, or you get what you want most later. So what do you want now is one thing. What do you want most is something you have to wait for. If it's the life that you're dreaming about, then you have to be disciplined, because that's something that comes in stages, that comes in specialties. So one of the things that I'm doing with my life is I've started off this financial freedom and financial literacy megaphone. I intend to put a megaphone on teaching everyone intentional money management, and how you manage your money is the way that you end up having financial freedom. It's taking a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and money to do this. But I am a very disciplined person, and I have been consistent, and I intend to be consistent on my plan to work on this. So being disciplined and being consistent are the mindsets that you need to have. The motivation that you need to have are your goals. Goals motivate you. When you are in a rut and you don't know why you're doing this, how did I end up doing this, what was I thinking, you remember what your goals are. You remember where you want to be. What is it that you want most? What is it that you want most is what's going to get you over that rut. What do you want? How do you get there is where consistency and discipline will take you. But if you don't have that goal, then you don't have the path. And the path, another word for the path is your journey. It's on that journey. And now the path is probably something that's unknown to you. But having where you want to go with your goals, and our goals can keep changing all the time. Having that goal, seeing that goal at the end, is where you're going to pave your path. Now, paths are not always there for you that clears, like Moses cleared the water for the Israelites to pass through the river. That's not how our life works most of the time. Although I do believe that God clears our path, it's not a straight road. It's a road where we got to be cutting through the bushes. We got to swim through the water. We have to know when the sharks are in there and avoid the sharks. That's the journey that we're going on. That's the path that we're going on. So God never said that our journeys are going to be straight, that our journeys are going to be easy. Our journeys are in any way going to be something that is destined for us no matter what we do in our lives. He gave us gifts, right? He's given me the gift of intentional money management. He wants me to share it with you guys, so that is what I'm doing. That is what my goal is for the next 50 years of my life. But we have to find the gifts within us, find those gifts within us that He's already given us. So yes, He will help us, but you have to do your best before God can do the rest. What is your best? Only you can figure that out. It's not that you know it. I'm not going to say only you know it, because half of the time we don't know what our best is. We have to, most of the time, we have to literally dig into ourselves, look into our own psyche to understand what our best is. And sometimes we really have to push ourselves to understand what our best is. And we have to use those gifts. We have to discover those gifts within us. He gives us our best in many ways. He puts people in front of us that are there to help us. He puts people in front of us that are not our blessing but our lessons. So those are the people that we need to learn from. He puts things in front of us that we need to learn from, or are our blessings that we need to incorporate in what we're doing. So we have to look at all the signs that we are given as a human being, because in the end we have free will. So we have to use that free will to be able to see what are the gifts that are around us that we have already that we are not looking at, to use before we go and we put our hands together and we sit there and we're like, okay, God, help me. I'm asking God to help me all the time, but I'm also constantly looking around, seeing what has God has put in front of me to help me with what the dream is that I have. What is my journey? How do I work through along the journey? I always have goals. I'm always looking at that goals, working towards the goals, striving to get to that point. But along the way on this journey, there is so many different branches, so many different avenues, so many different hills, so many different valleys, and sometimes there are mountains. And when you are looking at these things, you have to be able to say, okay, this is a hill. And some people will be like, oh my gosh, this is happening to me again. I have to climb this hill. Why can't it be easier? Well, easy is for suckers. No, nothing comes easy, and everything that you have worked for, trust me, you will enjoy and appreciate it better than those things that come easy. Like all the questions that you answered right on that exam in college or high school, you are not going to remember them for shit. I'm sorry. But if you got one or two wrong, you're going to remember those. You're not going to remember the 18 you got right. You're going to remember the 2 that you got wrong. So the lessons that we learn along the way are meant for us to learn. So along the line, we can have our pity party when sometimes things are not going great, but you have to continue the consistency road. And that consistency comes with constantly disciplining yourself, constantly understanding that, okay, I fell off the wagon, I had my pity party, but time to get back on the road. Time to climb that mountain. Time to drink my energy drink and keep moving, because I know what my goal is. And God never said that the road was going to be easy. God always says that He was going to hold your hand through it. Let's go back to that footprint prayer. When the man was walking on the beach and he always saw 2 footprints, right? So we always know that He's walking with us. Jesus was walking with us. Then at the hardest times in His life, He saw 1 footprint. And when He went to heaven, He asked God, why weren't you there? Why weren't you walking with me? The hardest time in my life, I only saw 1 footprint. And God turned and said to him, well, those footprints were not yours. They were mine, and I was carrying you. God has carried me through so much of my life, but it was not without me looking and seeing and understanding that within these journeys, He's given me free will, and He's given me gifts, and He's given me a community that will either be a blessing to me or a lesson to me. So if something good happens, then it's a blessing. If something bad happens, it's a lesson. You choose to learn from that. So if you look at things in life in those 2 aspects, what's a blessing, what's a lesson, you will always know that this is the journey you're supposed to be on. And both of those things are going to be value to you, because the blessings are the things that you are meant to have and that are given to you as your achievements. And the lessons, the bad things that have happened to you, are what you're supposed to be learning. That is how I'm living my journey. That is how I'm living my life. That is how I understand. And I am telling you that, am I the happiest person all the time? No. Is my life perfect? Absolutely not. Far from it. But I'm on this journey. I have my goals. I am disciplined most of the time, except in the shoe store sometimes. But I still get back. Even if I fall off the wagon, I get right back on the wagon and I keep on working. Consistency kills the cat. I mean, not literally, but it helps with the process. and I've achieved many things in my life. There is many things more to go. My one journey that I am going on with intentional money management is to put a megaphone on understanding intentional money management, because that is what is going to save the middle class. So if you like this video, tell me what you like in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. Hit the subscribe button, because with your help, I am going to be able to give as much about financial resource, financial freedom, intentional money management as a free resource to everyone. I have continued to give the free resource. I will continue to give it to you guys as long as you're supporting and you're helping, because without your help, I would not be able to come out here and give you guys this knowledge.